A very volatile day before the expiry is what we witnessed. Uh, if you see, very simple observation which I think we all should make is the open candle of Bank Nifty was almost open equals high. 33,104.8 was the opening, 33,106.95 was the high made. When we look at Bank Nifty futures, of course it varied a bit. So right from the beginning, I think the Nifty was just moving down and bringing in pressure to the banks as well. Bank Nifty was, honestly speaking, very range boundish, not giving much of a profit as it normally does. There was a huge pressure from Dow Jones, which brought in pressure to our market. Today, I think this is Dow Jones futures. Let's look at Dow Jones index. In the morning, Dow Jones was basically pretty weak. If you see, it was just falling down today and bringing in major pressure to the Indian market as well. So right now we see Dow Jones is pretty strong. Right from 7 o'clock it has just been strongly moving upwards, and if you look at the charts, there's a long wick. You can see here the bias. Now the market went below yesterday's low. There is a huge volumes or buying which has come and taking the Dow Jones up, and possibly tomorrow we can expect a big gap up the way the US market is moving strongly. Honestly speaking, today the major drawback was from Reliance, which was 3% down. Reliance has been pretty weak for some time. It has been just falling down. Very narrow trading range in Reliance. Not much of positivity seen in Reliance. Tomorrow, if Reliance is able to sustain positively about 2,525 levels, then we may see some kind of positive up move in our market as well. Meanwhile, we will also look at the open interest of Nifty. Here, if you see Nifty open interest, there is a strong call writers, and the put writing is only at 15,000. That means now right now Nifty spot is 15,400. They are full conviction that market will not go below 15,000. Today, in fact, in Nifty, there was a huge open interest writing which was done. Uh, let's look at the PCR. Yes, the PCR seems to be, of course, oversold again. There is more of puts written today, so there is a huge chance that market can go up tomorrow as per the PCR in Nifty. There was a huge writing which was done at 15,500. There was a lot of calls written here, and the next, I think, the calls which were written was at 15,400. Of course, there was puts and calls written, but majorly there were huge call writings which was done at these prices. Now, of course, if you see the other writers, there is a huge writing done at the top end. So in case tomorrow, as per this, the way the US market is moving, if we open a gap up and 15,500 is taken away, then we have to see whether these people will quickly cover their options and move to the next level, or would they go ahead and add the put trend. So basis this, we can decide whether to go for call or put. Meanwhile, we'll also look at the Bank Nifty. I hope you understood what I meant. So we will also look at the Bank Nifty open interest. Here it is evenly traded, or the calls and the puts are equally added here. In fact, today I think there was a huge writing added at 32,800 levels. Huge additions were made at 32,800 and 33,000 as well. So market today was pretty confident, and the only place where I saw huge addition was as at 33,000 calls. Huge addition was done here. There was another addition calls which were written at 32,800 when the market went down. Tomorrow what we can see is that as I mentioned, looking at the Dow Jones, market can be bullish. So we will simply look to buy Nifty above 15,520 levels for a initial target of 15,620. If this level is again taken out, 15,620 or 15,600, then we would look at 15,725, which is the previous day high as well. On the lower side, there's a strong trend line support. If this trend line support is taken out, then we can definitely easily see 15,200 coming in the market. However, we would have to see if Reliance is able to sustain and move above at least 2512. Once this if it is sustained about 2512, then we can easily look at to a 220 2525 2544 levels. As per what we see in the charts, there is a good chance for Reliance to recover and head towards 2530. We will also look at the stocks which are traded in the US stock exchange. Yatra Online seems to be positive at 1.5%. Make My Trip and HDFC ADR seems to be positively traded at the moment. So what are the other stocks which we are looking at tomorrow? We possibly would like to add Birlasoft, which looks good. In fact, today also I think it was traded positive. There's a good trend going on at this levels. We can easily see 400 420 maybe in the next 3 to 6 months in this counter. Stop loss would be somewhere, our entries would be somewhere at current levels, or we want buy and dip with a stop loss of 320 327. The other stock which I am looking at is Jain Irrigation. There's a strong gap up from the last 2 days. Strong buying going on at this counter, so we can easily look at 48 or 52 coming in this counter. Let's look at the indices, which is the indexes which are traded in Indian market. Nifty metals again was weak. As we had mentioned, better to stay away from metals like Tata Steel, Hindalco. Hindalco, in fact, today, yes, was added by the big players because it is coming at a discounted price. We see a good support somewhere at 290 to 300 levels. So a long-term investor should not hesitate to add this at this levels of 288 to 90. FMCG and auto were weak. I see a good buying opportunity coming in again. We may see a slight down in auto towards 10,630 levels, where we may think of adding stocks like Maruti. We may even think of adding Mahindra and Mahindra. and Eicher Motors. Mahindra seems to have a very good ad at the current levels up to 955. I would look to add this for a target of 1180 levels. Bulls and bears tomorrow. Short covering also can happen. These things are crude oil. Okay. I have a couple of viewers asking my views on crude and whether there's a short covering rally tomorrow. Tomorrow, in terms of when I look at Nifty and Bank Nifty, open interest and the charts and other factors, tomorrow I see a huge volatility on both the sides. If there is a gap up, I would not hesitate to short Bank Nifty somewhere close to 33,700 levels. Of course, this is a little higher range. Tomorrow, if we open gap, as I mentioned, 33,140 is the first level which of target. Post this, I think 33,300 is what we may see. Being an expiry, I assume that these levels might not be easily taken off, and then we may see a steep fall coming in at this counters. And then we may see market trying to test today's low as well. So tomorrow can be a volatile expiry. Be ready to trade both sides and book profits appropriately. The safest way you can look at is buying covered calls and covered puts as per your analysis. One of our viewers is interested on crudes, our view on crude oil. If you remember, we had shared a sell on crude at 122 levels. Today's low was 101, and now there's a slight retracement back towards 107 levels. So as per the charts, we are already in a gain of almost about 15 odd points, and our target, as we had mentioned, is somewhere close to 93 to 90 levels, which is yet to be awaited, which can happen maybe by this weekend also. Of course, there is a bit of a strong support which is coming here at this level of 101. However, I would request to look at the data of crude before coming into any kind of a decision whether, of course, I think the US crude inventories news is also awaited, so we will see huge volatility when it comes to crude. Because the manufacturing PMI, and today I think we have President Biden who would be talking somewhere tonight. So we can expect huge volatility in the market. me give you the exact time what where we can expect volatility in the market. Uh, so these are some of the views by Fed Chairman Mr. Powell. As per Mr. Powell, Fed rate hikes could cause a recession, and the federal team is strongly committed to bring down the inflation. Of course, their job is to maintain these rates. So before the news on gasoline tax and others, the price of crude has already started moving down strongly. So he has Biden is called on the Congress to suspend the federal gasoline tax, which is slightly good for them. So I think that's it for now. We still are bearish. I'm not looking into adding into stocks at the moment. Any stocks I would just look at mostly intraday, unless you're a long-term investor. If you see, most of the Nifty 50 stocks are in the negative, except BPCL and auto stocks, and some stocks like TCS. After a strong fall, now TCS seems to be recovering slowly with a strong backup of strong fundamentals. I personally feel that TCS is a good to add at this levels or even lower, and in the coming days we should easily see 3,400 coming in TCS. So if you are a futures traders, you can look at adding TCS at present levels with a stop loss of 3,175. So good to add in maybe July expiry, so that you do not have to roll over in the coming week's expiry. Thank you, Mr. Aftab Khan, and thank you all the viewers. I'm trying to go in a little slow so that I'm able to give insights. What I also personally feel observed is that HDFC Limited, there is good buying going on currently. Now, of course, price is not fluctuated. Secondly, if we see FIs have still been selling today. Also, they have sold about 2,000 odd cash in today as well. However, let me tell you one simple thing: the FIs are still invested in the market. As per the data which I have recently put, I will probably make a different video where I would explain how much FI still hold in the Indian market. They have just sold around 8% of only their holdings, and the reason is they would feel that most of the stocks are overvalued, and maybe they expected this recession and other things to come in. So they would definitely look to add back what they have sold at a lower price, and most of the times I observe they are majorly playing in the index. So I hope there are no other queries from our friends. And yes, Mr. Jeda, tomorrow is definitely a bulls and bears. So short covering can happen. I do not foresee any kind of a short covering rally tomorrow. But yes, definitely tomorrow I see market going to be volatile and give us opportunity to make profit on both the sides. So Sun Pharma, I had mentioned if it sustains above 860, I would look to add. However, it did not sustain. Though we have bought few quantities, I am waiting for another opportunity to see if I feel that we can add the current levels. The low made in Sun Pharma was around 790. Post which there seems to be some kind of a positive up move which is coming here. What I would think of doing is I would probably add at the present levels, and maybe I would write a call at 860 call where my position is well balanced. We may also look at ICICI Bank, which seems to be holding on pretty strongly. You can the other stock which I am looking to short tomorrow is possibly SBIN futures. I would look at opportunity to short SBIN tomorrow. If it's SBIN futures sustains above 449, then I would look for an opportunity to short it below 446 for a target of 442 or 443. Currently I am sharing this off the market. Please do join our Telegram channel, or please do subscribe to our services. We will have one-to-one WhatsApp conversations, explanations how the market during the live market hours, looking at the volumes. Today we witnessed steep falls on SpiceJet. As we mentioned, SpiceJet fundamentally currently is weak. We saw almost, I think, about more than 6 or 8% fall in SpiceJet, giving us an opportunity to add at 37 levels. UPL was down by 6%. Since there is a huge selling off at this counter, I would look to add this at maybe tomorrow or in the coming days. Somewhere close to 600, 590 levels I would add and wait for a response from the market. If the price of say 588 is not sustained, the next level I think we can easily see about 535 coming in UPL. So any traders in futures may look for a selling opportunity here. in UPL. Looks like a very free fall from couple of days from from May month. There seems to be no kind of buying. Though we saw some kind of buying here on 30th of May. We saw buying at 13, 16, 17. However, it is not sustained, and then every up move seems to have become a sell from the mid of May or end of May month. Good opportunity here in selling UPL. We will definitely have more opportunities like this. Kotak Bank, I would maybe look to add this stock at the present levels. If it is sustained about above 1670, I would add this with a stop of 1661.62, and the target here I am looking at 1684.1692. I would also be sharing a video on how to trade, look for good opportunities on intraday cash market. Very simple, effective strategy I would be guiding. Please do join us, connect us on WhatsApp. We would let you know the date where we would be sharing this simple strategy. So thank you all for your kind attention and your likes. I know for sure I would have good likes coming in some point in the later point of the day. Good luck, happy trading, be safe, and hope you have a profitable expiry.